Dr. Fidgetal and my co-host here, Callie Comics. How are you, Callie?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. As you know, I was a bit under the weather for a period last week, so just getting back on track now. But yeah, all good. How about you?
You know what? I'm good other than these bags underneath my eyes, because as we talked about, if those of you who don't know me, I have grandkids, and we kept all the grandkids, overnight. So that was a very fun ordeal. So not much sleep, slept on the couch with the grandkids. So I am very tired. I actually
It's,
took
it
a nap
is.
once
It's,
they left.
whenever you say that, it's just you the youngest looking and probably one of the youngest grandfathers out there. It's very impressive.
Well, I appreciate it. I do not feel young, and they wore me out.
Yeah,
When you have, my oldest is 6 years old, and then I have two 3 year olds, and then the new grandbaby's a few weeks old. So it's like when you're keeping the younger two, they are full of energy,
hmm
and they thrive off of each other. So yeah, so it kept us busy. So my wife is like, they need to be a little bit bigger because this is very exhausting. Uh, but other than that, great weekend. Callie, you don't know, but obviously I'm a realtor, so closed on the deal this past Friday, so that was nice.
I did see. I
Got
see
one
a
of
post. Was that friends of yours? I think I did see you put a post out, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, so you know what it was, they became really close friends, but his wife was actually we she worked with me. So she was one of my employees. She was one of the first people that I hired at my location out here in Atlanta. And we just became super close. They're great people. So I'm super excited to get them their home and close it all out and have that behind us. But as for today, guys, we are going to be having OMW on, just waiting for him to join. Once he does, we will go ahead and move forward with the interview. But due to the time change, then that might be a little bit of time, so bear with us. But in the meantime, so Callie, I know that you haven't been doing much collecting in regards to VV and myself included, but let's kind of chat about you know, the the taxes that we were just talking about, and kind of like how that impacted, from a standpoint of gym wise and cost wise for you, how that impacted you and also your decision to put in gyms right now.
Yeah. Well, as you know, I openly bleed blue. I'm a VeVe guy, like you are too. I'm exclusively a VeVe guy in most ways. But yeah, I didn't read too much on the article when it came out. I just see there's a new payment provider, so I thought I'll give it a whirl. Look to deposit a few gems, and here in the UK we have a 20% VAT tax that's now applied. So yeah, if you're buying 100 gems, it's now going to cost you $120. So that sort of sucks. I'm assuming there's a reason why VeVe have done that. It can't just be a change of provider for provider's sake. But yeah, I suppose for me, it's not going to be the same for everyone. But knowing what I was depositing at on the gem front, I probably very seldomly deposit gems. I'll probably look at the route of doing the OMI and then transferring to gems. I assume that's a little bit more cost effective. Um,
Uh,
but I don't know, what's it like in the US? Have you seen what taxes are loaded on?
you know what? I did not. I went on and tried to do it, and I didn't see much. But you know what? Since you're speaking of that, let's take a look and see. Let's take a
I
brief
believe in
look.
in Canada it's 5%, and then my good friend in France advised me it's 20% there too. So it's definitely it stings. It'd be good when OMW comes on, not to try and throw him under the bus with anything, but obviously to get his take with his VeVe hat on.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, because now let's see here. I'm taking a look at mine now. Is it when you like go and to buy the gyms? Do you see it right away, or is it when you hit the purchase button?
That's a good point actually. Let me try one. I did it on the web app. Um, let's quickly have a look. So get more gems, purchase. I believe actually once you hit purchase, it then takes you through to a checkout screen.
Gotcha. Okay. Maybe it's maybe it's a little bit different, but I know one thing. It does take me out, and usually I can use my Apple Pay And it's not, I gotta actually get learn the part number. So I'm gonna check that out later and actually get the see how that works. What
Yeah,
I get
I
charged
think
for.
it's probably like a lot of things. There'd be you know, for a new user coming in, I don't know what it's like on other platforms or if someone's buying, I suppose, an in-app token or in-app currency. I don't know, like on FIFA, for example. I don't know if there's a load with the tax or an uplift. I've never done that myself, so I don't know the answer to that. But maybe some will come in here and this will be quite commonplace. But I think knowing, like I said, what it was as an existing user, fortunately, I've probably done a lot of my gem loading over the years, so I don't really have to do it as much now nowadays. But yeah, I think for someone like me, it probably puts me in a position where I won't do it as often. But like I
Yeah,
said, that's
I would
just
agree.
personal preference.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And, especially for, obviously we're mint hunters, so we tend to pay a little extra for things anyway. So yeah, that definitely makes a difference on, our spending habits, for
Yeah.
sure. So while we're waiting on ONW to join, question for you: how do you feel about the avatar drop?
I I think I like it because I think it's a drop that I assume there's a lot of big Avatar fans out there. I'm not one of those, which again I'm quite happy with because it puts me in a position where I can just sit poolside as such. Um, but are you a fan? Is that a franchise or I'm just looking at the NFTs now. Actually, is it something that you're pretty big on?
Yeah, you know what? I was a huge. I love the show. Excuse me, got a little tickle today. But yeah, no, I absolutely love the show. And so I am excited to actually get a chance to watch, or to get these because I used to watch the show. So yeah, absolutely. So hello, Mr. V. Welcome, welcome to the stream. And Deshaun Solo, appreciate you guys. Yeah, Omi the Gems is on the way. Yeah, 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 yeah. But yeah, so Aang, I was huge on Aang. So this will be a drop that I'll go for. It's not going to be, I don't know if I'm necessarily going to special mint on this one, special mint hunt on this one. This might be one of those things that I just buy because, I just love the actual show itself. I don't think that I'm going to mint hunt for this one necessarily anyway.
Yeah, I'm just
But
having a look at.
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, as I say, because I've not been online as much the past sort of 10 days, I've not actually looked at the details, so I'm just having a quick look now. So is there any craft mechanic they've embedded on this, or is it the common and secret rare and it's those two?
Yeah, common and secret rare, yeah. So I think they're gonna end up doing it like four nations. So they'll start off with air, and then they go water and earth and fire and then like the ultimate one. So yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm excited, man, to kind of take a look at it. But what about the Wonder Man drop? You think you're gonna go for that one?
That I definitely will do. I was hoping to snag something quite nice on there, and then I just see the bounty come through, which you've just put up there. Um, right, so you can't. For me, I just admire the bounties and the passion with it because that is a significant bounty. So there's the yardstick, I guess, if you're going for something super special.
Yeah, absolutely. I was like, I may or may not go for this one. Then I saw that I was like, yeah, I'm going for this one. You when you got bounties out there, it's like, it might be worth a couple pools. I mean, I don't mind them being in my collection. I'm not a huge fan, in regards to it, but yeah, I'm all about adding it and pulling a lever. Sometimes we gotta be degens in the
Yeah.
space. So
Well, again, for me, I love the 1939 mint, last mint. I might even try and pick up the 666, not to give it too much away, but I normally have a nice spread that as long as I get one of them, I'm normally quite content. Um, I was have you seen the rare, ultra rare, and secret rare cover variants as well?
no, I have not.
It's unique. I think they've only maybe done that on one other drop where they've sort of just, I wouldn't want to say regurgitated, but it's quite similar in some ways. I'm assuming they're from one of the panels where they've used the artwork, but the actual rare variant is the one for me, barring the common OG cover. The rare is definitely the one to go for, in my opinion, in terms of its look versus then the ultra rare and the secret rare.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Now, what about is there anything that you have any thoughts on that might be coming up in the next up and coming months that you would be excited for?
Well, no, they've done the next Street Fighter character, haven't they?
Yes. I'm
I
not
think
even
it
familiar
was.
with this person, I'm sad to say. So
Oh,
there's that.
well, I'm glad you said that because I could lie and try and quickly read some sort of script on Sakura. But yeah, I'm Street Fighter from the late 80s or in fact early 90s in terms of Street Fighter 2. So not a character I'm too familiar with. Um, but she's definitely got sort of the Chun-Li Ryu merge vibes going on, hasn't she?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, for sure. So, yeah, so for this one, probably not. I might pick one up in the secondary market. I have found that here more recently, I've been kind of like, unless it's something special, it's been more market vibes for me. It's like, I'll pick it up in the market. Like the Toki Doki and that. It's like, I'll just pick it up in the market. I don't necessarily want to, take the gamble and go down. I can just take the money and buy a few. So that's kind of
Yeah,
how I'm feeling right now.
yeah, and
But
I think we might have spoke about this at some point in the past, but I'm quite happy in a way. I'd rather it be a character, I won't say a lesser character, but in terms of lesser known to me, rather than them then go Guile, E Honda, Dalsim, Bison, Balrog, and hit us with all of the probably the more established or at least the legacy names. I want time to be able to maybe build up some gems, especially now, and then get ready for that when those roll in. So if you've got some not to be too disrespectful, but some filler, then that works well for me.
yeah, totally agree. Totally. So what is your favorite Street Fighter character?
Ryu's an obvious one, but I was always a fan of Balrog, quite a Balrog fan
Okay.
from the game when they started bringing out the championship editions and he was a playable character. E Honda was always one as well, just because you could. I'm a button basher, so I could spam quite easily with E Honda. But I'd say let me guess. I think for yourself, I'm gonna say you're a Blanca fan.
You are 100% right. Game on. Can't believe you guessed that. How did you guess that?
Oh, so he's definitely up there. Although in you've probably seen the movie from 1994 that he got done dirt in that movie, in my opinion. But I'm excited. Have you seen the trailer? Excited about the up and coming movie?
You know what? I am actually excited. So I mean, I feel like they got a good cast, right? It's just one of those things. I feel like when it comes to Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, either you like hit or you just miss terribly. I don't think there's an in between for these. So I'm really hoping that this turns out well. I was a fan of the Mortal Kombat that came out, so I like that. I hope that they're able to do well with the second one as well. But I got high hopes for Street Fighter. I'm not. So here's the thing, and I get that as Guile's look, not a fan of Guile's hair in real life, like as a real life character. It just, it's like how many guys you're actually going to see with a hairdo like that? But it is the character, right? So like I get it. So I struggled a little bit with Cody Rhodes with that hairdo. But other than that, I think it looks great. I think 50 Cent looks great as Balrog, and so I'm excited to see it, man. That's one I'll probably go to the theater to see. There's not many that I'm like, you know what, I'll spend the money and go to the theater to see, but that's definitely one.
Uh,
What about yourself? You going to go to the
yeah,
movie
I'll
theater or
make
wait
I'll
for it to
make
come out?
I'll make you exactly right. When I see the trailer come out, I was definitely excited about it, but the one thing that stood out to me as being odd was Giles' hair. Again, it just looked strange. But I
Yeah.
think I think we can probably get around that when it goes live. I reckon it will work well. And I'll tell you, talking about the recent or the more recent Mortal Kombat movie, I was quite impressed by. But what about the original? Are you a fan of the original Mortal Kombat movie?
Yeah, you know what I think? Yeah, for the nostalgia piece of it, I definitely am a fan of it. I think my favorite part is like in the beginning when they all get there and they're eating dinner, and then Sub-Zero does his, his, almost what do they call it? Where basically kind of like shows his skill.
Yeah,
But where like, where the guy's head like rolls afterwards, it's like flawless victory. Yeah. So
yeah.
definitely a fan. Mortal Kombat is just one of those things. I mean, you can't go wrong with it. It's probably one of my favorite video games to play, even as a kid. So I like it now too. I haven't played it much, but I still do like it. Actually,
Yeah.
oh, here we go. So everyone, we do have our special guest that just came into the lobby. So we have On My Way, who started as a VeVe collector and became a VeVe team member. He is always smiling, great energy. We appreciate everything he does. So everyone, please help me welcome OMW. OMW, are you here, brother?
Mic check, mic check. 1 3 1 3.
how, how are you, brother?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing today?
Man, we're good. We're good. How are
Yeah,
you with the, do you have daylight savings?
yeah. Daylight savings is a it's a doozy. That's for
Yes, it
sure.
is. Yeah.
So
You
what
know,
have you
Cali
just
doesn't have it.
have you guys just lost an hour?
Yeah.
Wow. It's a rough
I
ride,
tell you.
especially on a Sunday.
Yeah. So OMW, how have you been and how is Mrs. OMW?
I have been doing pretty well overall. Mrs. OMW has been also she's hanging in there, you know. She's doing good. She's doing good. She's happy and healthy. That's what's important. So
I hear that. I hear that. And you know, I we really appreciate you coming on and just spending some time with us to kind of chat, you know, just some typical conversation, you know, let the people get to know you, talk about your collecting journey, things of that nature. So, you know, once again, thanks for coming on. So I know you may not be able to turn on your camera, and that's fine. So just FYI, but if you did try to turn it on, it's not on, just to let you know. But so OMW, for those who don't know you, would you mind sharing a little bit about yourself and maybe like your journey into your you know, your VB position?
yeah, of course. So hello everybody. My name's On My Way. I am a community member. Actually my BB birthday was like 2 days ago. It was
Oh, well,
five
happy
years.
birthday, brother.
Thank
Five
you, thank
years,
you.
huh?
Yeah, it's been quite a journey, quite a journey. I've been here from almost the beginning, but I've loved it since day one, you know. I saw the vision that David and Dan brought to the world, and I loved every second of it, every single second of it. I was just so hyped. I was like, there's no way I can collect these things digitally, and they're officially licensed. I was like, listen, until I go and see it in person, right? Because like it was still the midst of COVID, and like everything was online, and crypto was like super crazy. I found out about VV through Omi first. And then I did a couple weeks of research, and then I was like, all right, cool. Let me take a stab at this. Um, yeah, it was fun. It was fun. It was a fun collecting journey to today. I got employed by VV mid last year, so it was pretty epic. My
So,
collectibles went over to, sorry, go ahead.
no, I was going to say it's a question that might have come up anyway, but I'm always intrigued. So since you've been now as part of the team with Evie, is your collecting habits and user habits changed at all, or are you very much still pretty much collecting the same sort of way as before?
I think I'm still collecting in the same way. For the most part, honestly, like uh, I really like to collect, and you know, it's challenging to not collect some of these wonderful items on this app. You know?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So how did you end up getting your position? You were saying that my collectibles, you started to say that.
Yeah. So my collectibles was the community manager for uh VV overall, and it was a quite a task. So as VV expanded, um, he wanted to carve out a path for the affiliates program and built that up and set that in motion. And oh man, I love the work that he's doing. It's so nice. It's so nice.
100%.
And then yeah, the position was made available, and I applied, and I got it. It was nice. It was very nice. I
Okay.
was very surprised. I've been a mod for like 3.5, almost 4 years, in the Discord prior to that. So yeah, I've been to a lot of, I think almost all the New York Comic Cons. Besides the first New York Comic Con, I have worked them all at the booth. I worked the booth at Decon, the first Decon as well. So, I've been around, so it's been uh yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. I wasn't expecting it, and I'm very, very honored to be here.
Yeah, man. And it's great to have people like yourself, true collectors to start off as, community members and then join the team because it just gives you a perspective that someone from the outside coming in that may not have that passion behind them. It brings it to your position and you're able to relate to us. You're always in the spaces. I don't know if it's you, OMW, but the VeVe account is always in the spaces. And you're always sharing, I see you always sharing content from the content creator. So we appreciate everything that you've done. So and obviously I got a chance to meet you at New York Comic Con. So you know, and you were like smiling ear to ear, and you were going 100 miles a minute. So it was man, for all the work that you guys put in, man. I know you had to be exhausted by the end of the day when you do those events.
Oh man, New York the conventions are a wild, wild time. I mean, I feel like it's nonstop from sun up to sundown. Um, but it's always worth it. Like the community is just so much fun. It's like nothing I've ever experienced. So um and my lady supports it. So like I don't know. I have no reason to say no and not go and have a blast with the fam. Like, man, I wish I can go to more events. Honestly, that's where I'm at. Like it's always so nice to meet more community members.
Gotcha.
I think
Now I know.
having the support from your significant other is a big deal as well. Fortunately, I'm in that camp where my other half is yeah. If I've ever spent time, I don't know, doing some building or whatever it may be, I sort of I'm always conscious of being family man and doing obviously that stuff as the primary, but having time to be able to collect and do stuff on VeVe, I think it helps massively.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, and OMW, obviously you met my wife, so same deal. I feel like we're all in the same boat. If you don't have that wife support, especially with some of these things that we're buying and the prices that we're paying, if you don't have that support, man, it gets you some pretty deep trouble.
Oh,
So
she doesn't know
Yep,
that.
yep, yep, yep.
Yeah, yeah, she doesn't know that part.
Exactly, exactly.
a
Not
hundred
not a
percent, a
hundred
hundred
percent.
percent. You know what? So here's the thing: is my wife knows what the actual price is in the store, but she does not know what we actually pay for. So there we go. That's the hidden gem behind the me being able to do these things. If she kind of knew, sometimes I'll be like someone to say, "Hey, you want me to?" No, please don't post that because my wife is in the Facebook page. Don't post that on the Facebook page. She does not need to know that. But other than that, so yeah, quick question for you, OMW. So tell us about your collecting journey. Like, have you always been a collector how did you kind of get into it?
Okay, so I have always been a collector for as long as I can remember. Like I don't know, maybe like the age of like five, 6 years old or something like that. I used to, get Pokemon cards when they first came out with my brother and my cousins and my friends at school. It was like it was great. It was a great time. And then as the collecting world evolved into Yu-Gi-Oh, I really got into Yu-Gi-Oh. Like Yu-Gi, I got into Yu-Gi-Oh heavy. It was a great, great time. Um, and then yeah, I got into shoes, as I got older and got into like middle school and high school. And then Yeah, shoes and things, shoes, some comics here and there,
It's
some watches
How,
here and there back in the day. The
yeah, I
collecting
do
life
love some watches.
cycles, the life cycles of collecting, pretty much.
yeah. What about any particular sports? Was there any sports that you were collecting in particular, or is it been more action and yeah, superheroes and Pokemon, that sort of thing?
Yeah, not necessarily sports. So like, I did not necessarily stick to one sport in particular. I dabbled with all of my friends who, you know, played at very competitive levels, whether it's, nationals or locals or whatever the case may be, but I didn't pay too much attention. I would rather be out collecting shoes and paying
Hmm.
attention to things of that nature, like the streetwear culture, hype beast culture before the hype beast were hype beast. Um,
Okay.
if that makes sense. And anime. Yeah, I loved anime, so
Ah,
you know,
yeah, yeah,
anime
yeah.
comics, that was my jam.
Shout out to Emoji, always on the anime.
Yeah.
So yeah. So how did you find Vivi?
So I was during that 2020 time frame, end of 2020, I was listening to a lot of like Web3 podcast on Clubhouse with like Farouk and Snoop Dogg and a few of these other, you know, smart Web3 people before the time. And then I was like, man, I wonder, I wonder if they have these NFT things, but like with things that I actually know and not like some random new thing. Like I want to collect something that I actually like instead of, just throwing my money at something I have no idea who this person is, where they're from, what's going on. Like, I know Web3, I get it. I'm trying to get like something legit here. And I saw a blog article about they were doing a giveaway for a Batman collectible or something like that. And I was like, a Batman NFT on this thing called VeVe? Homie? Okay. Let me see. Let me see. That sounds interesting. And it was real. And I was like, yo, there's no way this is real. And I watched it for a little bit, made an account, dabbled around, and I was like, okay, let me see what this is really about. And then they dropped the DeLorean teaser video. Oh my goodness. I was like, yo, I can't. If this is what they're really planning to do, I'll jump in. And then I went to New York Comic Con and saw them at the Marvel booth. Like I've never been to a Comic Con ever in my life. And I went to the Comic Con and I was like, yo, they're really here. This is real life. David, you and Dan Crothers are real people. They're not just like, voices on the internet. Wow. Hold on. The community that I've been talking to for like 8 months is actually here? No way. What is this? This is crazy. Marvel? I'm gonna come back tomorrow and make sure I'm not crazy. And it was there again the next day. Oh my goodness. I was hooked. I was hooked. I was hooked before, but then once I saw it, I was like, all right, yeah.
All
I'm
right.
guessing at that point you understood what an NFT was. You knew Web3 because again, when I got into the space, I remember when my brother was probably similar age, or my brothers are probably a similar age to you because they collected Pokemon when they were kids, so they're quite a bit younger than me. And I remember they said to me NFT and the word Web3, and I think I said to him, it's like Web what? Like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? Like what do you mean? And then when he showed me it and he showed me the Superman and DeLorean and the hoverboard, and then it was just for me, it was just digital collecting. Like it was that was the thing, the hook for me. But I'm always intrigued, like some of the conventions I've gone to, is like you see the people there, and if there's a VeVe booth there, or when there is a VeVe booth there, I just don't know how many even really understand it. Do they see the booth, and unless they engage and speak with someone like yourself who's working there, like do they just not see it? Like, what percentage are we talking of people that actually know this stuff exists? Like, is it still minuscule?
I think there's a decent amount of people that are realizing that VV is here, you know.
Mm,
But when you go to the conventions, it's a little bit different because like there's so many people passing by all day, you know. Like there's thousands of passes. Like the same person might pass by 4 or 5 times, and then with every pass, someone might just look at the screen and be like, "Whoa, hold on, what is that? What is that AR AT doing on the screen over here? How are they doing that? What is this?" And they see a line of people, you know, and they're like, "What's happening over there?" And then they see like a celebrity coming to sign some stuff like Mark Brooks or like, you know, Simone Legno or Alfred Kahn or whoever's gonna stop by, you know, Daniel Wu, they come by and the lines are just like wrapped around the corner. It draws so many eyeballs. Um, so they're always remembering each year. They're like, oh, these people, yo, those lines are still crazy, you know. But when there's time to, you know, for them to like pop in, they're just like, yo, this is pretty cool. And they get the introduction, and then, you know, slowly but surely they understand, you know, and
mm,
it takes everyone a different time to understand what this digital collecting space actually is
mm,
and how involved they want to get into it. Because like me personally, like I've been in this space for a decent amount of time before VV, you know, before the 5 years, and I still did weeks and weeks of research. So there's a
yeah.
lot to take into it. But I loved
Mm,
it. I loved it once I got into it, was like, okay, this is real. Now those people who see us at conventions, it's a little bit different because they know it's real. They saw us
mm,
already. So as VV expands and grows and they get more educated on how we've evolved over the past, you know, 5 years, I think yeah, I think it's gonna be a really, 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 really exciting times ahead.
yeah. Well, unless I can't speak for Dr. Digital, but I'll be respectful and I won't ask you for any alpha or any insight. But so this is just your take, I suppose, just from your. Nothing will get read into this, but Viviverse, like how important do you feel that is for digital collecting, um, both in the coming months and what it will be in the future once the whole space starts probably dropping a little bit more.
Okay. Um, I would like to first off say thank you for that. I appreciate it. California Comics not asking for any alpha. Also, just wanted to mention, remember everything I say is just my own opinion and does not represent VV in any form or fashion. This is not financial advice and should not be construed in any such fashion. Please do your own due diligence and collect what you love. I'm just a collector at heart, collecting uh, what I enjoy and having a great conversation with my fellow collectors. And on that
That's right.
note,
Perfectly said.
and on that note, I think you mentioned within the next couple of months. Now,
But yeah, just in the future, yeah. So how you see it from now and until yeah the coming months and years.
okay, now months and years. That I think months, I'm not 100% sure. Years, I think is going to be really, really fun, right? Again, Vivi is adapting at a pace that is like unlike most companies in this space over the past 5 years. They have been extremely flexible, as most people can see, right? Overall, in my personal opinion as a community member. Um, and they have not forgotten about the VeVeverse. Like there is a good amount of people that are consistently going in there building lots of world, like Swampy Number Five, Master Roni, Lexi, Cosmic Disarray, Cold Chillin', Omnivore, like the list goes on. Energy has some crazy spaces. Realm World has some crazy spaces. You know, the all of the spaces that Mascheroni has built for the collectors, you know, California comics, like that room and concept is crazy. It's crazy,
Yeah, hundred
you know?
percent.
Like there's just so much. There's so much being done in that space. Like there's too many people for me to even name. Sorry anybody if I missed you. Um those are just like top of the mind. But man, man, it's it's wild. But yeah, I believe the team has some very um exciting plans for the VB-verse in the next couple of years.
Okay. OMW, now quick question for you. What would you like to see in the VeVe that you haven't seen yet? I mean, because we've seen some awesome builds. Shout out to, all the collectors are great. Collectors going digital and that, but obviously my favorite is Master Roni. Shout out to Master Roni for building my Iron Man mansion. But he is one of my favorites, so I'm a little partial. But what would you like to see in VeVe that you haven't seen yet?
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Oh, listen. I'm so sorry, development team. If this ever gets back to you, I'm so sorry. I would love to see. So you see, how we just got that Snap 2 thing with the
Yes.
sushi cars? I love that.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. I would love to have that like in the VV-verse, but like just an empty track. Be like just an oval. And then I can snap two or three cars in there and just have that track run or have those cars go in that loop from there. Even if it's one car, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I that's one of the things that I'm hoping for in VB first. Shout out to DeLorean Time Machine who has the Raging Bullpen that once again Masteroni made for the Lambos. But that's one of the things that I would love to see is being able to race cars in the VB verse, especially because the cars look so amazing. I could only imagine what they would look like as we're racing. And, I kind of miss the what was it, the ones that they used to do the VV videos with the races. I can't think of
Yeah.
the name of it right now, but you know what I'm talking about.
The VV 500 with
That's the
VV
one.
Universe Light.
500, yes. I miss those, man. They were so well put together that it
Yeah,
was
definitely.
amazing to watch, right? So, I mean, and like you said, there's just been so much that the community has done just because we are collectors, right? To bring value to VB and then VB takes that and then just takes it one step further. I think that's why we've all stuck around for so long is because we feel heard, right? There's never a time that, when we say something or we leave something in the comments that you guys may not be able to say at that point in time, you can say I'm working on it when in reality you already know it's in the works right now, right? It's going to roll out in a few months, but you can't tell us that. But it's just been so many times that we talk about something and then like a few weeks later, a few months later, it comes to fruition. And it's just one of those things that I really love about the project. And then, like you said, to be able to connect with Dan and David, what company are you going to go tell me? Shout out to the VV Gold Silver logo. I got to shout it out every time. But for me, New York Comic Con this past year and DCon were my first events. So to go to meet you in person, to see Dan and David, and then to go to the parties and see Al Khan, and David Wu and all of that, it was like something that you would never see. When I would tell people about it, they wouldn't like they couldn't grasp it, right? It's like, what do you mean you went to a party and this person was there? It's like, yeah, like this is a real collective community. Like this is the utility of not only the VV Gold logo, but just our community as a whole. We are a family. And that's why we stayed so long, is because we trust the leadership, we trust what they're building, and we're having fun while we're doing it. I mean, obviously Kelly and I are big mint collectors, because we also see the value down the road as far as where VeVe is going. But a lot of that we collect just because we simply love it. And there's just things in my account that will never, unless something drastic happens and I have to sell it, it will never see the light to be sold again, unless I'm trading Daniel for something, right? Or Cali for something. But typically for us, it's just one of those things. We believe in the company. It's easy to believe in. Like you said, they're not just voices on the internet that you hear, and it's like, is this guy actually a real person? Is he gonna rug me? Are they gonna say, you know what? Oh, X, Y, and Z. Sorry, I shut down the whole project. But I'm excited for where they're going, and then also to bring on team members like yourself that are true collectors. It brings a sense of comfort for me, as you're spending a significant amount of money in a project. Right? So ONW, I do have one question for you. Go backtracking a little bit. What was your first VV collectible that you purchased?
The first VeVe collectible that I purchased was a DeLorean.
Shout out to the DeLorean. That was
Shout
my
out to
first
the
one as well.
DeLorean. Yep, yep. That was after the, many weeks of research and, figuring out, okay, real life stuff is all handled. I can purely focus on, spending some time and building a little collection, because instead of collecting some physical items, let me actually take the plunge into collecting digitally instead of just looking at it and seeing the drops that they have every 2 weeks to see what's going to come out next. That was always the interesting part. So, yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Now, how do you feel? So obviously, Vivi has done a great job, as well as other projects as well, as far as doing the phygital. Starting off with digital, now you got the phygital where you get the physical counterpart. How do you feel about digital and physical, and then the phygital, and how do you see it progressing in the future? Are you a fan?
I love it all. So you see, the generation that we're from, right? We grew up before all this technology boom became a thing. Like, we knew the world before the internet was mainstream. We grew up with dial up. So, um, having that physical aspect of collecting is always going to be there for me. It's ingrained. Uh,
Mhm.
like, I just bought some physical books this week. I got a physical book today talking about collecting, actually. um, oh man, such a good book. Oh my goodness, this pickup was crazy. I never thought I would find it in the wild too. But as I digress, yeah, I think the physical world is awesome, but the digital world is like a beautiful facet that many people aren't aware of yet. And I'm glad that I'm here in this time that I can capture the very beginning of this journey, right? Because like it could be historic, realistic, like realistically, like this is it's not just, a picture on a phone talking about digitally collecting. It's on the blockchain, it's here, there's metadata, it's a digital collectible that you can do so much with. Like really. There's real utility. So I think it's a oh man, I think it's a nice addition. And Fidgetals, ooh, Fidgetals is like, yo, Fidgetals is that blew my mind the first time I heard about a fidget. I was like, wait, hold on, I can do what? Yeah, I want that. I want that. Like I have an Eve from the Mighty Jacks. Love it. Oh my goodness, I have that physical. But the only way to get that physical is by having the digital. So I thought it was a nice little use case for that collectible back in the day. But I love all of it. I can't pick which one is the best. Um, if I had to pick which one will be the best, it'll probably be phygital, just because I would have the physical, but also the digital twin. That's that- you know,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in that same camp. I feel like, the physical will always be there. The digital is like the new frontier, right? I love what you can do with it, and then what we'll be able to do in the future. But having both, I mean, that's why I love, VeVe, Elmon X. Shout out to Elmon X. Suye or the London Police. I love all of their art. And then shout out to Broken Crayons Fabrics for doing the airdrop from O'Malley Space, because I got one of his pieces, even though it's just digital. I love his work. But we really do have, I feel like VeVe has brought in so many different artists from different facets that, it really exposes to things that you would have never had exposure to, right? But for me, that Phygital piece hits the name Dr. Phygital because I absolutely love it. But I'm excited for what the future holds for, for me, for example, I want to be able to have my Vader in my house, or my partner statue, or my Starry Night from Elmon X. It's just one of those things, like I want to showcase it, you want to flex it. And for right now, you can't really do that outside of like VeVeverse, other than showing people, in the community. I think for me, I would like for to be able to invite people to see things without them having to have an account. So I think that's a big thing for me. There's just so many people that I think would be very interested if they were able to just kind of browse and peruse and really see, especially some of these VeVeverse builds. I mean, they're absolutely amazing. And I'm glad that VeVe is continuing to work on it. But I think it's one of those things that a lot of us, we were initially hyped about in the beginning, and then it kind of died off, but the builders have not stopped building. And I still go into mine, periodically and add in some collectibles and that. But I'm excited that once technology really catches up, then we'll be able to do even more with what we have. So, and obviously, Dr. Collect and Collect Chain. I'm excited for what the future holds for that. So OMW, how do you feel about that? So I know you can't, not talking from a VeVe, a VeVe employee, but how do you feel about the partnership with, the Collect Chain, and what that will enable moving forward?
I think that the partnership is going to be a very, very interesting um milestone in the history of VeVe. I think that it's going to allow for some things that I know the community has been wanting. So that would be awesome, right? I know that I want everyone to be happy. If everyone can be happy and everyone can win, what? Why not? Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. There's some features that when they go live, I'll be smiling. I'll be smiling.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And are you more of a comics collector, collectibles collector on VeVe? Which do you lean more towards?
Hold on. First. What are your thoughts about the collect chain? I need to hear from both of you as well, please.
Well, since I do a lot of, I'll let Callie go first. Callie, you're up.
Yeah. Well, obviously, I'm personally vested in it in terms of the whole DGC element, and I've already got some plans with California Comics of how that's going to interact and be part of the collect chain, which I think is, from what I know, is pretty groundbreaking and pretty phenomenal in terms of how it allows a collector or someone who maybe wants to innovate or be creative do things on that chain. And I think that's going to be an incredibly big deal as the space evolves. Um, I'm interested about the transfers. How that will look, because I'm very much pro royalties being protected of licensors and VeVe. So I'm quite interested to see how that's going to knit together. I don't think it can be Wild West and anyone can transfer anything. I think it has to rightfully be done where the royalties are protected. So I'm quite interested to see how that dynamic will come about. And trades, not to give one of my potential plans out there, I'm happy to talk about it, but I think the trading aspect, I think is a huge deal in collecting, period. And with digital collecting, I think doing trading, being, me and say Charlie Fisher, we've done. I had a conversation with David about how many trades me and Charlie done, and to our absolute detriment, we have done it all above board. We've set the correct prices, paid a horrendous amount of fees, but rightful fees for doing it. But it's fun, and having a platform, hopefully in the collect chain, where it allows us to set up and do trades with potentially even multiple individuals is pretty cool. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and I would agree. I mean, for me, I think that for us, sometimes the scary part is, when you set up a trade, you never want to, because we're putting it on the market, even though we plan to buy it, you never want someone to snip it, right? Or snipe it. They come in, snipe it, and then you're like, ugh, I did not get it. So, being able to have that trade, be able to pay the correct royalties in that, I think is going to be a big thing. I think for me, I'm excited in a couple of different aspects. And one being, I trust Dr. Collect, and what he's doing. I mean, they have been spot on with, doing the migration and timelines. And he's been in the community. Like, he is a true collector, as we all know, right? So I think that, like, having that trusting piece, he's at these events. David has even shared how, Dr. Collect would jump on a plane and show up at an event, if they ask him to come, right? I think that shows the type of dedication behind the project and the team. For me, on top of what Callie kind of talked about, is I'm very much excited for token gating. Being able to use your collectibles and potential other games, or to be able to create groups. I mean, it's great to have Stacker for being able to see who holds what, right? But it's very difficult to say, what, I want to do something for this specific group, like Golden Moment holders, because I'm a huge Golden Moments fan. So it's like, we got 800 collectors. I want to do something for them. It's not easy to have that information at hand. So, being able to be on the collect chain and things to be token gated for us to kind of, as Callie said, use that information, to do additional projects, I think is just wonderful. I mean, obviously I have a project I'm working on, as Callie knows, that I think the collect chain will be very beneficial for. So I just think that on top of what VeVe is doing, to have like this that is specifically built for collecting, and nothing else, is not only, innovative, but it's going to change the game as far as moving forward. And then it's also going to create some really, really great projects that come from what they're doing, because it just creates that, it makes you innovative in regards to, we're missing X, Y, and Z. Well, I can create that for the community. So I just think that over the past 5 years, we've seen a lot of that, with bounties and, then we got DGC and, all of these different projects have just done a great job of building on what is already great and just, giving it added value to BD without it being very difficult, because sometimes it can be difficult. Does that answer your question, OMW? Is that what you're looking for?
It was perfect. It was perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
All right. Well, we appreciate you, brother. So, moving on. So, are you comics or collectibles?
All right, so I'm more collectible, I must say. But
Okay.
my collection number, like overall, would probably say I'm leaning heavily towards comics. I do have like twice as many comics or three times as many comics as I do collectibles, but that's just because, like, like they were fairly easy for me to get from the market sometimes. And I was like, hey, I'll take it. Cool. I can do that. So, but my collectibles, oh my goodness, I love my collectibles. I love my collectibles so much because I am also a mint hunter, as yourselves.
Ah.
Oh, I'm looking at Stackar right now, so we're about to find out what mint hunter you are.
Oh no, oh no.
Shout out to
um
BB Gold. Uh, So yeah, so mint hunting is so fun. I think is I hate to say it like this because this is gonna sound terrible. I think that like when things die down and like you kind of have the things that you want, it becomes very difficult to just buy because like you're so used to that thrill of being able to like capture that mint or negotiate that deal. It is that satisfaction is like no other. But OMW, so what is your grail in your collection as far as your mint?
Um, all right, so it's not necessarily mint. I would have to say probably collectible. Uh,
Okay.
Grail collectible would probably be. I love my VV Gold logo, but that Spider-Man SR, the FA, oh man, it was so good with the flip. I was like, yeah, this is awesome. Um, yeah, that's probably my Grail. Uh,
And
Okay.
talk to me about your C3PO Golden Moment 1901, because that's
oh,
pretty nice. Or are we keeping that? Is that under
He's
wraps?
trying to hide stuff. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
hiding
I'll just
stuff,
blown the
OMW?
lid.
oh man, honestly, I forgot about that one. I forgot about that one. Yeah, I would love to get the rest of the 1901 golden moments, but they're in some hands of some diamond-handed people for some of those. So it's just it's challenging. But now with this wonderful feature that Vivi brought in with this DM, that's kind of helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, because it was difficult, man. Searching for that 1971, I was on Facebook, Discord, Telegram, and funny enough, we connected on Facebook, a site that I
Mm.
rarely go on all like that, but yeah, that the instant messenger is definitely very helpful. Uh, sometimes I can't find a person though. So fingers 1962. I'm still trying to connect with you. I need your number 49 Avengers logo. But I see him on there and I message him like the old way that we used to do it, but when I pull his name up, it doesn't show. So, but I'm gonna eventually get it though. But there's that. So OMW, what do you think is the most overrated collectible? And then what do you think is the most underrated collectible?
Oh man. Nope.
Yeah, we gotta give you
Nope.
some tough. We can't make it
I
all
don't
easy
know if
for
I
you.
can I don't know if I can do that one, brother.
Yeah,
Nope.
this
I
is
might have to I
All
might have
right,
to
fair enough.
veto.
Fair,
I'm sorry.
fair enough. Fair enough. You are part of the team, so I won't do that to you. Um, but what do you think is the coolest collectible? So, like, what collectible, no matter the price, what collectible do you think, hands down, is the coolest collectible? Yeah.
and just to give you the second round of question, which collectible do you think is the most uncool on the app?
Hmm. I
Don't say
really
Electra, by the way, because we just had Fro on, and we know she's a Grail. So I'm just saying.
no. I really like the Ghost Trap and the Slimer.
Mm,
Okay,
That was
first
like
interactive one.
yeah, that was like and the interaction was just it's just crazy. Like till this day, you throw that in AR and you show that to someone on Halloween, and they're like, "What just happened?" It's it's awesome. So,
Yeah.
I really do like that one. And yeah, the other question of yours,
what about the recent Boba Fett movie props? Not the
oh man, yeah, those movie props looked amazing, right? Like
Yeah.
the level of detail on each of those assets are like top notch, especially when you pull them up in the VV verse. I believe there was a video on that, right, with Devin.
mm, yeah,
So I believe those were showcased in the VV verse. So you can see that super high level of quality and resolution. So
yeah. And again, I know this is obviously not financial advice, but I think there's some of those items are being slept on. Like there's the jetpack. I don't think The same with the belt, where you would be able to craft off the SE. Not everyone knew you could craft both. I had to tell a couple of people who hit it, you better go and do both because they thought they could only do one. So the jetpack, for example, I think at the moment, even though the SE is fully sold out, there's only 43 that have been either crafted or held back by VeVe. So, the first ever Star Wars movie prop, and there's 43 of those jetpacks. I own three, and I am not pumping my bags because, in fact, if I've got one on the market, I'll take it off right now. But I just think, and I'll look to probably get a couple more because I just think Star Wars nut, Boba being Boba, these are just massive moments in Star Wars history for me.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, I get that. I get that. It's oh man, it's crazy sometimes like the edition size that we have available to us compared to the amount of fans that are actually of any particular fandom or genre that we really have on the app. Like, like we have a good amount of Star Wars fans on the app all the time right now. And man, just I can only imagine once, you know, the world finds out about what VV is, once VV becomes a household name. I'm not sure how long that's going to take, but I think David and Dan can do it. I have
Mm.
faith in them.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Oh,
totally agree.
take as long as they want because again, I'm of the mantra. It gives us the opportunity to do exactly what we're doing now. Of course, it'd be great one day, but yeah, I think as long as they keep building and they have people like yourself, OMW, in the team that are, like Montel said, really credible individuals of not only understanding the space but are real passionate collectors too. The more we do of that, and again, people like Montel and Master Roni and people like you said who are creating content, O'Milly, as more people we can keep that in the space and keep building it, I think is only a great thing.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. So, OMW, and I know that we want to be mindful of your time because you have family obligations, and so does Daniel. But before we start getting into wrapping it up, unless you got a few more minutes, we're going to do rapid fire question round. Are you ready?
Okay. Yep.
All right. No time to think. Just straight answer. All right. I'm going
Let's
to hit
run
you
it.
with just a few. All right. Comics or collectibles?
The collectibles. I'm sorry. Yep.
Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Blind box or direct net?
Ooh. Direct mint.
Grail you wish you owned?
Hmm. I think a Miles SR maybe.
Good
Yeah.
choice.
He turns invisible. Yeah. Dope.
Oh, okay. Favorite VV moment ever?
Um, Last year actually at New York Comic Con, we had a nice little dinner with me and my wife and some of the VV team members. So it was great. It was a great little time. Um, we're having a baby in a couple of months, and we announced it to uh the community first because I'm not sure if you guys know Josh from Discord, but that's the homie. And I was like, what better way to tell him? We could tell him and his wife, and before the rest of the world actually knows, and then we can tell the VV fam because I'm not going to see them until the next convention, which is the next year. So I was like it's perfect timing. So it was nice little memorable moment.
Okay. I love it. I love it. What is one license that if you could bring to VV tomorrow, what would it be?
Anime. I'll just leave it
All
at
right.
that.
So now I got it. Now, so one more question, then I got to come back to that. What would be one word that you would use to describe the VV community?
Oh, passionate. Yeah,
That's what I would
yep.
have chose.
Whether good day or bad day, they're always passionate. That is for sure. We love the passion.
So there's some people in the community I've got other words for, but yeah, I think generally, I think passionate's a good one. Fortunately, they're a minority, and I'm sure they've got words for me too. So
So speaking of anime, and once again, I want to be mindful of your time. But what is your favorite anime? I'm just curious.
Oh, you see, like this is like asking someone what's their favorite
Uh,
song,
all right,
you know?
give me your top 10 or top five.
10.
I'm
Ooh,
good with
I'll
that
give you
because
five. I'll
okay,
give you five. That's good. That's good. I'll give you five
that's more
for,
easy.
you know, the past like 20 years. All right.
Okay,
Let's do that. Um, hmm. Damn, this is still gonna be hard. All right. Let's start with like a classic. I love me some Dragon Ball. Like Dragon Ball
all right.
Z. Grew up on it,
Mhm.
from the 90s, so that it hit crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
I
100%.
I love Hunter x Hunter. It's one of my favorite
Okay,
animes of all time. Great, great story.
I'm gonna have to watch it. I haven't watched it yet.
Oh man, it's so good. It's so good. It's from the same guy who made Yu Yu Hakusho. So if
Oh,
you ever
okay,
seen that, you might like it. Um Attack on Titan
okay,
is such a masterpiece in storytelling in anime. Like if I can compare it to like regular TV, it's like Game of Thrones,
oh,
but
that's a
better.
that's a big statement. Okay,
I know. I know I love Game I literally just finished a rewatch like last week of Game of Thrones, so I know. But oh man. If you watch it, you'll understand. You're like, damn, that's crazy. Um, let me see. Uh I would have to say probably, ooh, let me do something more modern, some more modern things. I would have to say Demon Slayer or My Hero
okay,
Academia, right? Because like just depending on the time frame, My Hero just wrapped up. Loved every moment of it. But Demon Slayer is also on its, final arc right now. But it's gonna be in like three movies. So I just need to, it depends. Like it's a toss up for that fourth spot. Um,
okay. I just finished season one of Demon Slayer probably about like 2 weeks ago. So yeah,
oh,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah.
what you think?
But yeah, so like someone was telling me about it, and I was like, you know what, I'll watch it. And man, like I binge watched the thing. Like I was like done in like a week. Um,
Yep.
so yeah, I'm definitely hooked. I'm like, yeah, absolutely, hands down, hands down.
Yeah, wait till you catch up. Once you catch up, you're like, oh man, wait, how long do I have to wait for this? Oh, that's gonna be tragic. But the movie to end you on the cliffhanger,
Oh, does it
cinema.
really?
Oh, it's so good.
Uh,
So good though. It's like 2.5 hours.
okay. Oh, I'm for it. I'm here
Yeah,
for it. Don't play.
yeah.
I'm here for it. Okay, last one.
Uh last spot. Hmm, I don't know. Let me go with like probably say Naruto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's one that when it comes to VV, my money's spent. Like I'm hunting, I'm buying, like it's game over. Like, yeah. It's gonna be Draco hunting style for
Hmm.
Naruto. So I'm just telling you. Um, yeah, huge Naruto fan. So now OMW, how are you for time? Do you need to go? Do we need to wrap up? Or do you
I
got a
got
few
some
more?
time. I got some time. I mean, I can do another 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Okay, so I'll tell you what, we'll chat for another 10 minutes and then we'll jump offline and chat a little bit offline as well. How's that sound?
Perfect. That sounds
All
perfect.
right, fair enough, fair enough. So, OMW, now question for you. And obviously, we're not asking you to release anything about the company or anything that you can't talk about. But since you've been behind the curtain now, like what is one thing that you wish collectors knew that you know now that you really didn't know until joining the team? And maybe it's, the work ethic behind the team, we all know there's a hard amount of work that goes into what they do, but we necessarily might not know what it is.
Okay. Okay. I would say it is, and you have to remember, I've been in the community for like 5 years before
Yeah.
even being uh oh, mic check, mic check. Let me know if you guys can
Yep.
hear me. My headphones
Mhm.
died. Um,
Yep, I can hear you.
yeah, so from a community member standpoint to now being behind the team, the work that goes into every single drop, it's it's unbelievable. There's so many eyeballs, man hours that go into crafting every single collectible from start to finish to getting it into the hands of the consumer for us to hit that, buy now button. Um, so just massive respects to all the departments, all the members actually behind the scenes that might not want to be so forward facing, putting in the work to make sure that, the collectors are happy with the product that we have in our collections, like especially being a serious collectible collector. Like, and I got some nice comics too, but um, it's just a little bit different for the visuals on the collectibles, and when I see it in AR, it blows my mind sometimes. So just massive amount of work, guys, that goes into every single drop that we have on the app. So shout out to the team.
Yeah, and I can't speak for Daniel, but I will say the amount of detail on these new collectibles, absolutely immaculate. I don't know what switch got flipped and who took over, but man, the collectibles look flat out amazing. So please pass that along. I know the community has said it before, but man, like the the change is such a wide gap. It's like now it's like we're almost looking at movie grade collectibles where when you look at it you just feel like you're just watching a movie. It's just amazing. um Callie, is there anything that you want to add in regards to that, or I just was kind of like talking? um
No, I think you're exactly right. I think it's the quality is definitely gone up a notch. That's that recent Predator drop as an example. I think it was the Hunter, the common version, which was my favorite out of all of them anyway. Like the quality and detail on that is outstanding. Um, so yeah, I'm all for that. And I can imagine as well, yeah, the sum of the time and effort. It's like it says, not maybe even just going into actually working and designing the mechanics of the drop and creating the NFT, but then dealing with the licensors, especially as I think Corey said it on stream a few times, obviously trying to, you know, meet their obligations and be respectful to them, as well as then bring about a viable product. There's a lot of moving parts there.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So that's the only thing that I can say.
yeah. Now, OMW, like, share with us, man, how was that feeling when they gave you that thumbs up that you were joining the team? I know that had
Oh,
to be surreal.
no.
Being a passionate collector, being part, being a mod and then to join the team. I know that had to be surreal.
Yeah, that is the perfect word for it. It was definitely surreal. I felt like, you know, it was it was a great time for me to jump into the company with all the changes that are happening in the space and being able to um being able to see how we can help expand VeVe to not just us as collectors in this community, but to the rest of the world. So I'm very glad to be part of the journey, man. It's so surreal.
I still can't believe it sometimes. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's
Fair
it's
enough. Fair enough.
it's
Well,
like the
my
best job that you could ever have, you know? Like from a collector standpoint, like there's nothing that I would rather want to do in this space than, you know, work with VeVe.
I hear that. You know, I'm glad that you said that, because you've been with the company for almost a year now, right? And sometimes when you join a company and see the behind the scenes action, you're not so enthused, right? Because you see the cracks, right? And talking with you, VB Magic, you guys, when you talk about the team and the hard work and and like the dedication, not only of the team, but I feel like your engagement with how engaged, or let me rephrase, I feel like the amount of enthusiasm that you had before has just been strengthened by joining the team. So I think that that speaks volumes as well as far as the leadership and where they're going and the changes that they're making. So I am, as a collector, I'm super happy, but also as someone that believes in the future of EV, that makes me extremely happy as well. So shout out to David and Dan and the team, everyone on the VV team. You guys do a fabulous job. I know sometimes, it may not seem like that we show enough gratitude for the amount of work that you do, because we do a little bit of griping, but we do appreciate everything that you guys do, and same with you, OMW. I mean, appreciate you being in the spaces, you coming on the stream. You're always such a positive voice, and when I met you, it was like I've known you for forever. You're just one of those welcoming people. You're just smiling ear to ear. Got a chance to meet your wife, so it was one of those things. Especially for me, it was my first time coming to an event. I was a little shy because I didn't really, people on spaces, but it's like, I was like when I was talking to VV Magic's, like when you meet them in person, it's like, do I tell them my Twitter name or my VV name or like my actual real name, right? It's like, hey, my name's Montel. Who's that? Iron Man or Dr. Fidgetal. Ah, gotcha. I know who you are.
Yeah.
So, it's one of those weird spaces. But one thing that I will say is like being able to engage with the community, and going to the decon party and being in person with Charlie and, Kid Arcade and, Dr. Collect is there and Larry, Omi Veteran. There's just so many people that just make you feel so welcome. Osman Collects, it's like, you get there and now it's like, when you go, it's like a family reunion. It's no longer like a community event. It's a family reunion. It's like, hey, let's
Yeah.
have some fun. So, but Daniel, do you have any questions before I ask him the last question?
Um, no, no. I think I said earlier. I just want to be. It's probably there's many questions I'd love to ask you, but it's just want to be very respectful about that stuff. And I'm probably quite unique in the sense of I actually don't want to know a lot of the answers. I like it being something happens and it's like Christmas morning when it gets delivered. So, um, but yeah, no. After you, Montel.
If you want,
All
if
right.
you want, you can, you can throw one at me, and I could see what I could do. You know.
There's a lot in the chamber. Hmm. Montel, after you. You are sure. Unless you've got a burning question of some alpha, then feel free.
Well, so since he tossed that out there, so OMW, I'm going to do an open-ended question. Okay. What would be something that you could share with us that might be considered alpha that you are okay to share, that you would be willing to share? That way, it's not like a pressure of a specific question, but just something maybe that you could share with us that might be considered alpha.
Um. Hmm. Honestly, I don't have alpha like that, unfortunately. Now, now all I can say is, from what I know, 2026 and 2027 seem like they're gonna be some fun years. What you consider fun, you can, that's on you. That I go to an event and I have fun. I go to the app, I look at my collection and I have fun. How you determine fun is up to you, but I think 2026 is going to be a good year. I think 2027 is going to be another great year. So, we we shall see. I'm very interested to see what the community thinks of what VeVe has planned. And like, yeah.
All right, Daniel, I'll turn it
Oh,
over to
look,
you
my
before I
mind,
ask
when
the
you
last
say
question.
fun, I'm just thinking gamification, and I'm not putting words in your mouth there. So again, that's the beauty of it. Speculation Nation, it's the fun of this, isn't it? In terms of a new space and thinking what may be, but yeah. And I think if anyone looked back over and really broke down, say, the top three things that happened each year with VeVe over the past 5 years, drops included, there's probably three humdingers every single year. Um, you know, so I think there's probably a lot of fun to come, as you say.
Yep. Yep.
All right. One last question for your OMW, and then I'm gonna do some wrap up and then we'll go from there. So last question to you is if you could say one thing directly to the VeVe community that's watching the stream today, what would it be?
Yo, listen, I am bullish. This is not financial advice. I am just as bullish today as I have ever been for VeVe. I love what VeVe has done for this space. I'm so excited for oh man, I'm so excited. It's been 5 years, y'all. It's been 5 years. And I'm surprised I'm surprised we're so early in this space. Shout out to the team.
And just to show your commitment here, if David and Dan sent round tomorrow and said we're going to pay you in gems rather than USD, is that something you're up for?
Um, I
That was a joke.
mean,
If you
Oh,
say
W's
yes,
like,
that's
no.
outstanding. But yeah, that's no one will hold you to that.
yeah, I love VeVe, I love VeVe. I was, I was a moderator for so long. It's not about the dollar value that VeVe is bringing to me. It's about what we are building together as a community and a company in this space of digital collecting. Like, I think that we're paving the way as a community, as a community in this space because VV always listens to what the community has to say. Just realistically. Um so yeah, it's it's nice.
Yeah, great answer.
Yeah. So OMW, if you would not mind, if you would drop your socials just for those if they want to connect and follow you. By the way, like and subscribe to everyone's page, guys. But OMW, if you wouldn't mind sharing your socials.
Yes, my X is licensed IP at licensed IP. I'm not sure. I just put that in the chat. I hope that works out. Or I can let me do a share
I
of
got
that.
you. I got you covered, brother. Put it up on the screen for you.
Okay.
So
Yeah, and
give me
I'm OMWTFYB on Discord as well. If you need to reach me on Discord, that's where you can find me.
perfect. Callie, any closing words in your socials as well?
Yeah, I just really appreciate, having taken the time out, OMW. Like I think I said before, Montel or Dr. Fidget always the one that pulls all this together. I just show up and be a wingman, or try to be a wingman at least. So just now really appreciating it. It's good to I know we've mentioned in DMs before, but it's good to connect as the show states. And thanks for your time.
Anytime, guys.
So
Thanks for
good.
having me on. I appreciate it. Yeah, send me a message anytime if you need me.
Absolutely. And guys, as I mentioned before, I am going to drop a little bit of alpha about the project that I'm working on. So I'm just going to play this video because there will be an app coming out in the next couple months that is strictly built for collectors, digital, and physical. So I'm just going to play just quick little snippet. And then what I will be doing over the next week or two is I will be rolling out the landing page for you to sign up for early access and beta access once we start the beta test, as well as being entered in for early giveaways and things of that nature. So
Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go.
So guys, I will share more information over the next week or so, but I just wanted to give you a snippet that that app will be going live here in the next few weeks. We plan to beta test, starting next month and for a few months. And then after that, we'll be going live, but it will have a website and then also apps for Android and Apple. And it is free to sign up, but there are subscriptions as well that come with some additional things to your profile. So I am excited to share more with you. But we thank you again for joining us for another episode of Comics and Collectibles Combo with myself, Dr. Fidgetal, my co-host, Cali Comics, and then our special guest, OMW from the VeVe team. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please tune in on Thursday as we will be speaking with Jan Collects for our next episode. So super excited for that one. And then we will also be having on True Media later on this month, as well as Chris Severs. So we look forward to seeing you guys for the next episode, and we hope that you have a fabulous day. And remember, collect what you love and connect with those around you. Have a great time.